Okay, so welcome everyone. This is wonderful to see the new graduate students for the Water Resource Policy and Management, and we have some returning students like Diane who are here to learn a little bit more about the program and then some of the opportunities we have coming up. And I'm really excited to see you, and I also thought this was a perfect opportunity for you to ask questions about the classes that you're in that Dr. Nanga and I can address. So we'll start with Dr. Nanga. Are there announcements or any, like a little postcard you want to give for your class, Water in Developing Countries?
Yeah, basically, there's not really much because I put everything online. So in this class, we are basically going to learn some of the challenges with regards to water accessibility in developing countries, and also how they treat water. So, I mean, most of you are going to get well acquainted with that information, which often here in the United States we don't experience, because when we talk of water accessibility in the US, almost accessibility is at over 85%, but in developing country, accessibility is very, very, very low. And then also the quality of water in these countries is not as super as we have in developed countries, whereby you can drink from the tap, you don't have to boil your water, the city treats water well. But in developing countries, the water quality is really low, and then that relates to like disease. So there's a lot of waterborne diseases. So these are some of the things we are going to learn in this class. And if you have any question, just shoot me an email. I'll be making posting almost like after every 2 days or on a weekly basis with the introduction of what we are learning for that week. And also your grades, I'll get them back to you as soon as possible. So this class is not going to be as condensed as the other classes you will take in the future, because these are new students. Remember, in the coming semester, in the fall semester, you're going to take a class in the methodology class, the policy and methodology class. That is going to be very, very condensed. Then in the spring of next year, you're going to have me again, and you're going to take a class in water policy analysis, which will also be a very, very condensed class. Then international environmental policy. But you ought not to worry, because we will provide you with all the resources you need to do well in these classes. In fact, that's our goal, that's our mission. If you send an email, I will be able to reply to your mails very quick. In fact, it won't take me more than 24 hours or 48 hours before I respond back to you, even if you send an email during weekend. So our goal here is to support you. And to help to make sure that you can succeed and excel in the class. You're going to learn a lot of techniques, like research techniques. How do you collect data? How do you analyze data? How do you summarize articles? How do you develop like short proposals and all that? And that's all I got to say, Christina. Unless you want to add more.
That's good. Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Nanga? All right. And then the other class this summer is the climate change and water class. And so that's gone on really well so far. We started with 2 lectures by Barney Austin. And then the next thing we're moving to is some stuff about international treaties on water. And then we're moving to Native American views on water and climate change, and how climate change is genocide for Native Americans. And then the last thing we're going to finish up with is this book, The Water Will Come, which is a lot of case studies about places like Venice and Florida, and how in Virginia and Norfolk Navy installation, and how they deal with water and climate change. So does anyone have any questions for me about that class? No, because you love it so much.
I do love it. I was going to say
amazing. Yeah, it seems to be going really good, so I'm really pleased. Okay, so we love having experiences that are in the world and not just in the classroom. So as soon as we can, we're going to get back to doing some field trips and having these real life experiences. And one of the things I love to say is the best classrooms aren't classrooms. I love to get people out together. Hopefully we can be together soon again and on the water, in the water, and experiencing everything for our learning, really. I just want to add, so this degree is unique because we combine law and politics, Native American issues, and water and environmental issues. And we're the only one in the country that I know of that includes the Native American aspect here. So it makes for a very unique learning experience. Our program is new. We started in 2016 and we had our biggest class in 2019. But then people started graduating, which is awful because I lose them and they go away. So we hope to continue to build, and I'm really pleased with the number of people we have in our program. We had our first graduating class in spring of 2018 with these first seven graduates. So we're really pleased with our placement rate. So a lot of people come to the program because they're looking for a job in water. And I'm very proud to say that every single person we've worked with who wanted to work in the field has gotten a job in the field. In fact, we have people begging us for our graduates. There's so much demand right now for people with this expertise. So I wanted to show a little video. This is Nuwakis Weber, one of our early graduates.
Hi everyone, my name is Nuwakis Weber. I am a water resources planner at the Chickasaw Nation Office of Natural Resources. I graduated from the Water Resource Policy and Management program in December of 2018. And so I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the program itself. It is full of wonderful professors who really truly care about you and getting you through this program and helping you find a career after that. Dr. Pappas is a great advocate for our students and will make sure that you get everything you need during and afterwards. This program does a really good job of teaching you about Oklahoma water law, federal water law, and tribal water law. These things are very important for the state of Oklahoma. They're important to me as a Native American and an Oklahoman. And it also gives you a good foundation on hydrology. It gives you enough information to understand the implications of the policy decisions that you make and the management decisions that you make. So overall, this is a wonderful program. I think that you should all do it, and I'm excited for you to be alums.
Okay. So our graduates are really high on the program. They feel like they learned a lot. And I think one of the type of people who learn the most are maybe someone with a science background who is looking for ways to talk about scientific information with policy language. So maybe they know all the science and the chemistry, but they don't know how to talk about it to a policy community. And maybe the most important, when you graduate, you get one of these divine medallions, and we're the only program on campus that has the medallions, so we're very proud of that. Can't wait to put this around your neck. And these are where our graduates work currently: DEQ, EPA, Nature Conservancy, Chickasaw, Choctaw Nation, Health Department, Oka Institute, and then we've had people get this degree to learn more about science so they could be better science teachers in public school. And then there's also private water monitoring companies that hire our graduates. So there's just like a lot of opportunities. This is a very strong emerging field right now. This is our faculty. So in the group here, that's me on the end. And then in the next, the short woman in front, that's Dr. Terry Becerra. So she teaches like the economics class that you'll have in the spring. In the middle in the back is Dr. Bruce Mooring, and he's a faculty member from biology, and he's going to teach environmental toxicology for us this fall, and that'll be a regular offering for us. This is Dr. Ananga in the front, and then behind him is Dr. Charles Peden, and Dr. Peden teaches classes like history and policy and environmental conflict management. The small inset pictures, Dr. Christina Phillips, she's an attorney and she'll teach water law, and that's a really critical class. It's also a very tough class, so she will attempt to eat your lunch, so I will help you with that if need be. In the middle, we have Dr. Guy Sewell, and he's teaching an environmental ecology class this fall. So if that interests you, that might be something good. And then Dr. Jacintha Webster, she's our new legal studies professor, and she's going to be teaching tribal politics, and that's an in-class class in the fall. And these are the classes that we have offered this fall. And so the class that Dr. Nanga mentioned, Policy Research and Methodology, that's in red. That's the class we consider our first class. So I know a lot of you are starting this summer, but as soon as you can, when you start in the fall, you'll want to take Policy Research and Methodology because it will set you up for all of your other classes. In fact, people who skip this class and go right into other classes, they're like, man, I wish I knew how to like write my papers for my classes. I'm like, well, yeah, that's because you needed to take this Policy Research and Methodology class because this is the class that sets you up for success in the other classes. So these are the classes that are starred with the asterisk, like those are your required classes, and then we have the elective classes. So we have a pretty liberal substitution policy. So let's say you really, really, really wanted to take environmental toxicology, but you didn't have any electives left. We would work with you to get you the classes that you want for your degree. So we're pretty flexible about that. So the learning objectives for our program, number 1, build the research skills. Number 2, contribute knowledge to water policy. Number 3, create political capacity. For example, being able to talk about or write about the science that you're learning. Number 4, integrate that knowledge, that science and policy knowledge. And then 5, to learn that knowledge. And so I like this picture. This is an assignment that was done in the water law class where you actually have to do a mock protest to a water permit application. So like this is really what happens. Like I read the Ada News the other day and there was a permit and it said if you want to protest this permit, here's what you do. That's literally what we're teaching you how to do in this class, how to talk like a water professional. And here's another little video from another graduate.
Hello, I'm Sarthak Desi, graduate class of 2018 Water Resources Policy and Management program at East Central University, Ada, Oklahoma. This program prepared me to have an understanding of the interplay between the environmental science and social science in developing and implementing public policies. Currently, I'm working for Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, the 3rd largest federally recognized tribe in United States as food safety and health manager. It's a part of my duties. I serve as a resource for interpretation of existing regulations, contractual provisions, develop and enforce the environmental safety and health compliance programs, and overseeing the development of food safety and health programs that ensures a safe and healthy environment for our travel members, guests, and associates. Through the Water Resources Policy and Management program, I learned about environmental conflict, Native American laws, and environmental policy that developed my problem-solving, analytical, and collaboration skills, which has been key factors to advance my current job. I really enjoyed my time at East Central University, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
All right, so Sarita is a great example of a student who had a job. She was she was working for the state health department, like doing restaurant safety testing. And then with the master's degree, she was able to get a management level job, supervising the kind of people that have been doing the work that she'd been doing before. So really proud of her and her career down there at the Choctaw Nation. So we have a lot of opportunities, and we want you to tell us what you're interested in learning and doing, because we can help you meet those goals. So this was a picture. We did some research 2 summers ago in collaboration with the Oka Institute, and so we went and interviewed people, tribal leaders, about what they think about water policy. So that's just one example of the kind of research that we can do. And our students are also real active in the Water Resources Association, which is the student group for anyone in the Water Resources Policy Management Master's degree. And one of the major things that we've done is the blue thumb testing, blue thumb water testing. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We also collaborate with OCA on the Water Fest every spring when we are able to have it. So we help provide volunteers and do the education for the children. We have a couple scholarships. This is not an ideal time because we've already awarded them for next year, but the year after we will have some scholarships available. So this man here on the right is Wes Watkins, and he's a former member of Congress from Oklahoma. And he and his wife Lou made a donation to our program to create our first water scholarship. So we're really happy to be able to provide that scholarship, and then the Higginbotham scholarship as well. Some students wonder if they should do a master's degree. And I would say if you plan to do a PhD, you might do a master's degree, or if you have a project you're really interested in, then that's another good reason to do a master's degree. It's required that before you enroll in master's thesis, you have to let us improve a thesis prospectus. And so this is something that me and Dr. Ananga will do. We're the ones who have been sponsoring most of the theses so far. And so some of the thesis topics we've seen lately: ecosystem services in Oklahoma City, water tower safety, how to evaluate wetlands in the Red River watershed, what are the effects of the earthquake on the water quality in Kathmandu, Nepal, and then the benefits of the Blue Thumb program in terms of improving Oklahoma water. So those are just some recent projects we worked on. This is our yearly schedule. So we always have those classes that I showed you for fall. They're going to be the same classes every fall. And then the other required classes will come around every spring. So it is possible to finish this degree in 1 year because we always have the required classes offered on that rotation. You'll just have to be kind of flexible in what electives are coming up at that time. And can we do course substitutions? Yes. So maybe you have work you want to transfer in, we can do that. Maybe there's a class that you're really wanting to take, we can let you substitute a class and take that instead of a required class. So the entire program can be done online. Mainly for our international students, we will always have 2 classes in person per semester so that they can have their residence credit. But those classes are open to everyone. So I love in-class classes. It's just, I know it's not feasible for the working adult to just lounge around with me a couple hours a week to talk about these things. When you get ready to graduate, we have an oral examination, so we can quiz you on what you've learned and maybe what we can do better in the program. And we definitely want to tailor the degree to what you're interested in. So if you have a goal and at the end you say, oh man, I like the program, but oh gee, Dr. Pappas, I sure couldn't do this thing I wanted. Well, I will be upset with you for not telling me, because if there's any way we can make these things happen for you, we want to find out how to do it. Okay, so lots of opportunities. We've got people doing internships and different things these days. I'm going to try to set up a field trip this summer to the Chickasaw Nation Recreation Area in Sulphur as soon as they get the Nature Center open again. And then we have some opportunities through Blue Thumb. And Blue Thumb is a program through the Oklahoma Conservation Commission, and we've been trained to do water monitoring. And actually this Thursday at all day, like 8:15 to 3 o'clock, we're going to be working with Blue Thumb at our site to do a fish collection. So basically we're going to take nets and we're going to walk 400 meters up and down the creek and collect every fish specimen to try to test for biodiversity in the creek. So we're doing that. That's a special thing. I've never been involved in that before. But then every single month, we have to go to the creek, draw water samples, and then test it for different parameters. So I would love to have your help on the water testing. So I have a student who got a job with Choctaw Nation, a different one, not Sarita. The only experience she had in water testing at all was that she'd been trained as a Blue Thumb volunteer. And then she got a job supervising people doing water testing. So this is a way that we can get that practical experience to you, even though we're not a super applied degree. I also want to set up another field trip to the Citizen Potawatomi Eagle Aviary and Wetland because that's amazing. It's so neat to go see the eagles up there. Okay, so upcoming, I also want to reschedule our field trip. We were going to go to the Tullahoma Chickasaw Wetlands But another date I want to mention, and if you're in the climate change class, you'll remember this. Barney Austin is going to be doing a Zoom session July 16th at 7 p.m. This is also recorded, so if you can't make it live, but he's going to be talking about kind of winding up our climate change class. But that's open for everybody, even if you're not in the climate change class. Barney Austin owns water or aqua strategies, and he's like one of the top water guys in the entire world. And we are just so blessed that he works with us. We have an EPA lab in Ada. So by the time you graduate, you should have toured this lab and at least seen what's going on out there. But they are trying to hire a graduate student to work at the lab. And they want someone who might be around for a year or two. So if this sounds interesting, let me know, because I'll put you in touch with those guys. Okay, we're working with the City of Ada on a glass crusher for recycling purposes. And we're also going to Kenya next year. So we should be in Kenya like right now, but our trip got canceled because of COVID, but we're gonna try to go next spring. And it costs about $2,000 for students to go. So if you want to travel the world, you should think about going with us to Kenya and learning about water projects there. It was a fantastic opportunity. We went on safari. We really saw a lot of stuff and made some great relationships. And then 2 years ago, the group of Kenyans from Juiced actually came to ECU, and here we are together at Turner Falls. So we've created a really great collaboration with the Kenyan University. Okay, so I've talked a lot. What questions do you have for me or for Dr. Ananga?
Dr. Pappas, I would like to know for the field trip, are we meeting here at ECU and going over, or just meeting over there?
If you know where to go, you can meet us over there and be there at 8:30. But if you want me to lead you out, we can meet here on campus at 8:15.
I would love that, because I'm not
Okay.
good directions. So.
Yes.
We're on campus?
So I usually, the faculty parking lot that I usually park in. Okay, so here's what we'll do. By the plaza, where between Horace Mann and the Fine Arts Center, you have the gates that are by the plaza. I'll have my car there, and you guys just follow me in your cars. How about that?
Great.
Okay. And be there at 8:15. We'll need to leave there at 8:15 to get out there by 8:30.
Okay, sounds great.
Awesome. I'm wearing my bathing suit and a t-shirt and shorts, and then some old tennis shoes for creaking. So
I'll bring my camera and also gear to help too. So.
I'm excited.
And I think Christine, we forgot to ask the students to introduce themselves.
Oh, that's a very good point. Thank you. So at the top of my screen is Jamie. Would you like to go first?
What am I doing?
Introducing yourself.
Oh, I'm Jamie Booth. I'm from Southeast Oklahoma, and I teach honors science classes, and my favorite is environmental. And the rate that the kids are going nowadays, I really don't think I want to be a teacher much longer. So this is a perfect graduate course for me, because that's my favorite in environmental is the water, and the kids have fun with it too.
Yeah, wonderful. Fantastic.
Good.
Philip.
What's your background, Jamie?
Yes.
Your background?
What's your background?
Oh, I have co-owned an environmental company, and I worked for Western Farmers Electric Co-op, and we put out diapers and things like that to keep water flow at a minimum into some of the lakes and streams where they were redoing their pipelines and the big towers that they were putting up. They were doing new lines. My dad worked in Corporation Commission, and I got to run around with him. And from the environmental company, we got to do all kind of locations and water control on those locations. And I've just been kind of all around.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Well, welcome, Jamie. You sound like a terrific addition to our program. So we're really excited you're here.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yay.
I'm excited.
Philip.
Hi, I'm excuse me. I'm Philip Newcomer. I just started the program this summer. I'm in my first 2 classes right now. I currently live in Ada, but I'm moving to Norman July 1st. Let's see. I got my bachelor's degree in musical theater a couple of years ago from East Central. So my background as it refers to this is pretty much just as an interested layman and not any structured background, but I'm very interested and very excited, especially having started the classes. But yeah, I think, is there anything else?
No, interesting. Excellent. Good.
I think you're our first musical theater guy, so I'm excited. We'll see how this goes.
Got lots of layers.
Laura, would you like to go next?
Sure. My name is Laura, and I work for OCA, the Water Institute at ECU. I have 1 class to finish up to have my bachelor's degree in mass communication, and I am joining the program because my goal is to be able to communicate some of the science and things to the general public, to get the regular people, for them to be able to learn what we're doing, be a part of it, be connected, things like that.
Very great, and I love it. And I love getting this connection with OCA strengthened. So very nice, very good. Josh.
So my name's Josh Johnson. I graduated from the EHS program at East Central in 2014. And then from there, I went to work as a consultant in the oil and gas field, mainly in Texas. We've done some work in Pennsylvania and Louisiana, but not a lot. So I've been in Texas, West Texas and East Texas for the past 5 years. We oversee SWIP permitting, and we do some minor permitting applications, stuff like that for these companies. And this is my first semester as a graduate student. I'm a little intimidated, but excited at the same time.
You have nothing to worry about. As you can see, everyone's coming from a different perspective, and and I think it's really neat coming from oil and gas. There's a lot that you'll be able to add to our conversations, perspectives that we don't know. So
right.
Really glad you're here. That's great.
I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Hi, Barry. It's nice
Especially
to
from West Texas.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself.
My name is Barry from Kenya. My background is in computer science. This is my hopefully last semester in the master's program before I graduate, either in August or September. Yeah, currently in Yukon, Oklahoma. Yeah. That brief.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
So Barry, you're here, right? Because we took our trip to Kenya and you met us there, and that made you interested in this.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here. I'm I'm a beneficiary.
Yeah, very good.
And I'm still waiting for your email, Barry, yeah?
Yeah, I know. I know.
I'm blessed. It's an orientation, Professor. Don't be mean.
Okay. I'll give you a call. Okay?
No problem. No problem. And it's really nice to see Dr. Nanga with hair. I've never
All
seen
right. You see, I'm not that gray. I'm not gray in my hair. It's just, because of COVID, I can't even shave my hair.
Then the COVID should be there until the end of the year. You don't need to shave. All right.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Diane.
Diane.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is my first time, so I'm all new at this. But this is my last class. I should finish up this summer. I am from the oil field background. I do have a degree from OSU in home ec, foods and nutrition. I've been the last 20 years in the oil field, so I'm looking to have a retirement job. So
Very
and I
good.
really
You and-
enjoyed these classes.
Great. I bet you and Josh would have a lot to talk about.
Yes, yes. Well, yeah. I have a nephew that works in West Texas with cactus drilling, so they may have crossed paths somewhere.
Yeah, very good. And you're almost
And you,
done. I can't believe it.
I know. I can't either. I'm sad.
Well, you don't have to graduate. You could just keep taking classes if you want. Just
Yeah,
don't
right.
file that
Right.
paperwork. Just stick around.
I might do that too. You never
You're
know.
always welcome. You
Thank
know what? Even if you graduate, we always say once a tiger, always a tiger. We never quite let loose of you.
Right. Well, all my kids have graduated from Crescent and they're tigers too. So I guess I'm always going to be a tiger.
Always a tiger. That's right.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, you bet. You bet.
if you need any help, you guys need to reach out to Diane. She's a very, very, very committed, good student.
Yes. If
Always
y'all have,
submitting her work on time and very good student. So you
thank
guys are in safe hands, yeah? And Diane can confirm that.
yes.
That's right.
If y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So,
That's excellent.
do y'all have any questions? Yes, that water law is the toughest class, but you learn a lot. So,
Yep.
um,
Yep. It's tough.
yes, but very enjoyable. So,
Okay. So, any further questions? Things you're worried about for your classes or things about the future? I hope you can see that we're a good community here. There's a lot of job prospects. Our graduates are very helpful in terms of giving advice and career placement. So that's what we're here for, is to help you get what you want to out of the program and end up in the place you want. So we're really excited that you're all here, and I'm really glad that you were able to get free this evening and come and see your classmates and come talk to us. So thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so if there's nothing else, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll see you all online. Bye. Email us if you have any issues or any questions.
Okay, Christine, I still got a question for you, but I'll ask you after everybody's gone.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop recording.